Have you ever wished you could just download new skills into your brain, like in the movies? Imagine mastering a new language, learning to code, or picking up a musical instrument in a fraction of the time it normally takes. It might sound like science fiction, but what if I told you there are proven methods, backed by neuroscience, that can dramatically speed up your learning process? Today, we're diving deep into the art and science of learning anything fast. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll have a complete toolkit to become a super learner. First things first, let's bust a myth. The idea that you're either smart or not smart is holding you back. Learning isn't a fixed trait, it's a skill. And like any skill, it can be improved with the right techniques. The foundation of rapid learning is something called meta-learning, which is simply the process of learning how to learn. Before you even touch a book or start a course, spend a little time understanding the structure of what you want to learn. What are the core concepts? What are the essential building blocks? By creating a mental roadmap, you're not just wandering in the dark, you're navigating with a purpose. It's like looking at a map of a city before you start exploring. You know where the main districts are, how the roads connect, and the best route to your destination. Now let's talk about the 80-20 principle, also known as the Pareto principle. In most fields, 20% of the effort yields 80% of the results. Your mission is to identify that critical 20%. For example, if you're learning Spanish, you don't need to know all 300,000 words to have a conversation. Focusing on the 1,000 most common words will allow you to understand about 85% of everyday speech. The same goes for coding. Don't try to memorize every function in a programming language. Instead, focus on the core syntax and principles that are used over and over again. How do you find this 20%? Look for beginner's guides, talk to experts, or find online courses that are structured around these fundamental concepts. Don't get bogged down in details at the beginning. Master the fundamentals first. Okay, so you've got your roadmap and you've identified the critical 20%. Now it's time to actually learn, and this is where we need to get active. Passive learning, like just reading a textbook or watching a lecture, is incredibly inefficient. Your brain needs to engage with the material. This is where active recall comes in. After you learn a concept, close the book or pause the video and try to explain it out loud in your own words, as if you were teaching it to a friend. Can you do it? If you get stuck, that's a good thing. It shows you exactly where your knowledge gaps are. This simple act of retrieving information from your memory strengthens the neural pathways, making the knowledge stick. It feels harder than just rereading, but that's because it's far more effective. Another powerful technique is the Feynman technique, named after the Nobel Prize-winning physicist Richard Feynman. It's a brilliant 4-step process. Step 1. Choose a concept you want to understand. Step 2. Teach it to a child. Okay, you don't need a real child, but you must explain it using the simplest language possible. Avoid jargon. Use analogies and simple examples. Step 3. Identify the gaps in your explanation. Where did you get stuck? What parts were confusing? This is where you go back to your source material to fill in those gaps. Step 4. Review and simplify again. Repeat this process until you have a clear, simple explanation. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. This method forces you to truly grasp the core of the idea, not just memorize its surface. Now let's talk about practice. But not just any practice. We're talking about deliberate practice. This isn't about mindlessly repeating something for hours. Deliberate practice is focused, goal-oriented, and involves constant feedback. Let's say you're learning to play a guitar chord. Instead of just strumming it over and over, you'd break it down. Are your fingers in the right position? Are all the strings ringing clearly? You could record yourself and listen back. This is immediate feedback. The key is to constantly push yourself just slightly beyond your current comfort zone. This is the sweet spot for growth. It should feel challenging, but not so hard that it's overwhelming. By focusing on your weaknesses and continuously correcting them, your progress will skyrocket. We can't talk about learning without talking about memory. How do we make sure what we learn today is still there next week or next year? The secret is a technique called spaced repetition. Our brains are designed to forget information over time. It's actually a feature, not a bug. The forgetting curve, discovered by Hermann Ebbinghaus, shows that we forget things exponentially fast. However, every time you review information, just as you're about to forget it, the memory becomes stronger, and the rate of forgetting slows down. So, instead of cramming for 5 hours in one night, it's far more effective to study for 1 hour a day for 5 days. You can use flashcard apps that have built-in spaced repetition algorithms, which automatically schedule cards for you to review at the perfect time. Next up is the power of immersion. Surround yourself with the subject you're learning. If you're learning French, change your phone's language to French. Listen to French music. Watch French movies. If you're learning to code, join online communities, read blogs from developers, and start a small project of your own. By immersing yourself, you create a rich context for your brain to make connections. The subject stops being an abstract thing you study and becomes a living, breathing part of your world. This constant exposure keeps the information fresh in your mind and helps you see how the concepts are applied in real life, which is a huge motivator. Let's not forget one of the most powerful learning tools we all have: sleep. It might feel like you're not doing anything, but your brain is working hard while you rest. During sleep, your brain consolidates memories, transferring them from short-term to long-term storage. It clears out toxins and strengthens the neural connections you formed during the day. Pulling an all-nighter to study is one of the worst things you can do for learning. You might be able to recall some information for a test the next day, but most of it will be gone within a week. Prioritizing a good night's sleep is non-negotiable for effective learning. Think of sleep not as downtime, but as a critical part of the learning process itself. So, let's put it all together. To learn anything fast, start with meta-learning to create a roadmap. Use the 80-20 rule to identify the most important concepts. Engage in active recall and the Feynman technique to ensure deep understanding. Practice deliberately, pushing your limits and seeking feedback. Use spaced repetition to combat the forgetting curve and lock information into your long-term memory. Immerse yourself in the topic to create a rich learning environment. And finally, get enough sleep to let your brain consolidate everything you've learned. Learning is a journey, not a destination. It's one of the most rewarding adventures you can embark on. These techniques aren't magic tricks, but they are a smarter way to work with your brain's natural abilities. So, what's the next skill you want to master? Pick one, apply these principles, and prepare to be amazed at how quickly you can learn. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to LearnLab for more videos that help you unlock your potential. Hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next one. We'll see you in the next video.